Well, hello everybody, welcome back to episode 27 of my Let's Play of SpellForce 3 Soul Harvest expansion. Of course, I'm running this from the SpellForce 3 Reinforced Edition client. You know, it's a standalone expansion. Yes. Okay, we left off, we had a very quick look at them. We don't have any money. When we got in here, we had to lend money from our new little companion. It offered 1,000, he was like, no. And I have to ask her for money, so I guess it's probably $2,000. Hopefully it gives me an option to pay her back later. We want to have a chat with these and activate that, and then hopefully carry on with the actual mission. This is part of the mission, but you know what I'm saying, getting through the story, the speech and stuff, and the interactions, and get back to the action. So, I don't think we spoke to you yet.
You wanted to speak to me?
Yeah, you called me all that, was it?
You're an outsider, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What a refreshing sight. The guards aren't letting many of you in these days. Allow me to introduce myself. My name's Gorag Rockrin, representative of the Historical Society.
Okay, historian.
If you're feeling particularly philanthropic, I have a proposition for you.
I'm listening.
What is it?
The Society has a keen interest in acquiring old Moonsilver artifacts.
Ooh.
Our ancestors spread all across the earth, leaving pieces of history behind. We'd like to bring those pieces home. For every artifact you bring me, I will compensate you a coin. How's that sound?
Coin. Maybe I don't. Oh, Moonsilver artifact 26. Carving pure. Oh. Okay, when this is a coin, does it mean like 1 gold mean that's 26 gold? I hope that's worth more than that. Because 26 is bleh. But I don't have time for this. I already have some artifacts for you. Why do you want these artifacts?
Why do you want these Moonsilver artifacts?
All this talk we've been having about traditions and culture, we see it as an opportunity. People are interested in our history now more than ever, and these artifacts are part of that legacy.
Okay.
We want to start a museum where all dwarves can view and appreciate our history. This collection will be part of that. Besides,
nice.
You see that statue they're
Of
working
course.
on? If
Statue.
Arrakis gets his hand on those artifacts,
Ooh.
he'll just melt them down like they're ingots. He has no appreciation for their true value.
Hey. Tell me more about your society. Tell me more, tell me more.
I'd like to know more about your society.
Ah, yes, of course. We were founded with a generous patronage from the late King Rorik, hence our name. Our mission is to preserve and promote our history.
Who's funding you now? How's that going? Who's funding you?
Who's funding your society now that the king is gone?
We have a few private donations, but it is a challenge. All this political unrest has also thrown the future of our society into doubt. That's why it is our hope that these Moonsilver artifacts will spur more interest in our efforts.
Okay. Does this have to do with High Heaven?
Is this somehow connected to this giant statue High Hierophant Arrakis is building?
What?
Yeah.
Because these artifacts are made of Moonsilver? Good gracious, no. I'd rather cut off my own beard than let him melt these artifacts for his
Already
bloody
told us
statue.
this.
But that probably isn't a conversation we should be having here. Now, you were saying?
That's the trouble. I feel I love the SpellForce games. I do feel 9 out of 10 they make the main protagonist, the main character you play, a little bit dumb with some of the things he can come up with. Like literally, the character would tell you, and then like that, he literally said about how he doesn't want him to get hold of this. He'll melt him into that. So obviously he's against it. And then my character turns around. You just got to do with this. You're using it for that. And he's like, he gets offended. Obviously, Whoopi's he's like, no. He obviously didn't say it, but it's basically in his head. I just told you this, you idiot. I think they say cut his beard off his head. I forgot what he said. Whichever. I prefer to cut something off than give it to him. And he's probably thinking, you bloody idiot. I just told you this. And my companions are probably like with it, you know, the face palm like, dish, dish, dish. Oh god, Ali's making it sound like an idiot right now. I don't like when they do that stuff. I love the SpellForce series, as I just mentioned. I just wish there was more choices in it. That's one thing it lacks. There doesn't seem to be many branching areas. Like, the only one I can really think of is SpellForce 1. You did the first campaign with your main character, who I happen to call Ivan. I found out years later the main character was actually supposed to be female, but mine was male. And the second character I made Gabriel the Iceman, who was actually supposed to be male, canon male, and the first one was female. And then the third campaign I actually played twice, because Ivan could transfer over and Gabriel could transfer over. And to me, that's a choice. and it doesn't change too much of the game. It's a little bit like if you're a Gabriel, you run into the Ivan, it's actually Ivan run to Gabriel for like one mission here, and a little bit of speech changes, but not much. But it's still something. Because I remember correctly, you are the Phoenix bearer. Is it bearer as Ivan, the main character, as Gabriel for the expansion? You're the shadow sword or dark sword? It's something with a black sword in it. I don't know if it's dark or shadow. What the correct term for it is. But at least there's a choice there, and when you get to the third campaign, you have a choice. Or you can just obviously start from scratch and do a brand new character, has nothing to do with either of them. But I believe at that point you would still more likely, because that's the only way I haven't played it, is that version, is you still have to pick a Phoenix Bearer or a thingy anyway. Or the game might default to one of them, like the Phoenix Bearer or something, I'm not sure. I've done the campaign twice, but with Ivan and with Gabriel. I've not done it a third time with a random brand new character from scratch. But to me that's a choice. And I feel SpellForce lacks in that sometimes. Like, yes, you have these green things. Technically, I don't have to say these green things, but it'd be nice if I had a bit more choices with these, so I could have gone with that stupid thing. Or, you know, like, maybe change the colour, like, I don't know, like, this colour advances you. Green doesn't advance you, gives you more information, but maybe they could have, like, two, like, I don't know, a green in... I don't think blue, but I don't know, any colour, purple. It's green and purple, or a little purple thing next to it, meaning you pick one or the other. So if you pick this purple 5, purple 6 will be gone. And purple 5 could be the stupid thing I just said, where purple 6 could be a bit smarter, so I can play him as a dumb idiot role player, or I can play him more as smart, or whatever. I feel that would be nice. And obviously proper full-on decisions at some point that will split the game down a route, like... Again, I'm not sure how many maps this game has, because of expansion, but let's just hypothetically say it's got 10 maps. I would love to get to, say, map 8, or map 7, even, and there's a decision on it, and then we'll take you to, and I guess you could change it to, like, if it's, say, map 7, it will change it to 8A, or 8B, and they're completely different maps. And if you go down decision on what IVATOPIA 7 takes you to map 8A, that's completely different to 8B. And your story's changed, and now you've got obviously 9A, 10A, and you get the ending. Where if you went down 8B, 9B, 10B, completely different ending. Well, they could even have it a bit better. I'm just saying, just for a simplified version, they could even have it, you know, after, you know, mission 1, you make a decision what takes you to 2A versus 2B, and then maybe then you could go from 2A and go to 3D or ABC. You know what I'm saying? They could make it even more intertwined, but. Even just the fact that it lacks their decisions, or at least that I've noticed. Just having a basic one, that would be amazing. And then they can intertwine more. The more complicated decisions, the better. The more endings. Like, for example, I just read Baldur's Gate 3. I'm recording this on 19th July. Apparently, there's variations, not actual endings, variations of endings. They got 17,000 variations. I have no clue how that works. As in... I don't know, like, just take these hypothetically.
Yes?
If this was Baldur's Gate.
You were saying?
What do you need?
Ending 1, I live. Ending 2.
Just give the word.
Ending 1, I live, say. Ending 1, she's pregnant. Ending 2, she becomes a queen. Ending 3, she dies. Sorry. All ending 1, she dies. So ending 1, I live. Pregnant. Queen, dead. And then ending 2 would be like,
What is it?
not pregnant, I live, queen, dead. Ending 3, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm getting at? And then ending 3 could be, she lives. That's 3 endings. Are they classed as 3 different endings? Would you class it, or are they classed as the same ending but a variation 3 times? That's what I'm getting at. So how many different complete endings are there? Like, I guess me living would be 100% one ending, then me being dead for another would be a second ending, 100%, wouldn't it? But me living with her pregnant could be variation of ending 1. Me living with, say, her pregnant instead could be a variation of ending 1. Me living with her dead could be a variation of ending 1. Me dead, and she's alive, that's 100% number 2. Do you see what I'm saying? So what will be variants and what will be full-on endings? But it'd be just nice to have 2 or 3 different endings for SpellForce. I know it's a lot easier to have a set ending and that's canon and just move on from that. It just makes it easier. And that for the story, but for the sequels, for the main game, not so much, for the sequels. But I would love just, even just 2 different endings depending what happened, and they just pick whatever canon was. I'd love them to do that. Or go back to SpellForce 1 days where you had 1 campaign, 2 campaigns, and you pick who goes into the 3rd campaign. And it gives a variation of it. That would be cool. And if they do it correctly, they can even talk about legends. So the same ending could always have you coming on like this with Tarhar's supposedly dead. That's apparently canon. He didn't die in the main thing. So you got to do whatever you did. And the game well, SpellForce 3. Again, we know it was a set ending, but directly we could have had me becoming the king, me becoming leading the Wolf Guard like it was, me joining, you know, keeping my mum alive, me not keeping her alive. That could be 4 different endings right there. But then when it comes to this one, well, there's, how many, I don't know, years, there's 8 years, 10 years later, whatever, Tahar's dead. And then they could just fill in the gaps. Well, we didn't need the mum alive anymore, so she died within his lifetime. Well, that fits all the endings, because you had the ending where she died in the game, then you have the ending where she died within that 10 years. It's in his lifetime. So that fits both endings, doesn't it? As long as there's no ending where he dies, well, in the last 10 years he dies, so that covers for what they want to set up here. Then it has becoming the king of the Wolf Guard thing. They could even mention that, maybe just word it differently. Like, she could say, I've been appointed as a new queen, you know, the queen in this game. And it was good to work with Tahar, and he helped lead the Wolf Guard. You don't need to technically mention that he was king at that point to kind of gloss over it, so it's like a legend. So if you're thinking he was king, you could just assume that he felt she was the best one in charge, and he could even have that as a line. Like, Tahar felt she was the best one in charge and had his support when she became queen. So that could easily be, that means he stepped down to give her support for her to be queen, or he was never king to begin with. Do you see what I'm saying? They could do it like that. So go for 2 or 4 different endings, but make them vague enough and enough time to advance that they could still fit the story whoever's playing it, and not, you know, wait a minute, why I'm not king when I became king at the end of that, you know, that sort of thing. And I think that would be a good way of doing it, give us a little bit more choices. And then if they ever got super good at it, we can have, you know, like the 17,000 ending variations or whatever. But you know what I'm saying. More the better. But also keeping continuity together for the next game is good. Because I do believe the SpellForce series, they have reconned a few things here and there, especially with SpellForce 3 from the other games that I've looked online and they pointed out they've been reconned. And I prefer them not to do that unless it makes sense. But if you do it something like that and make it vague in the next game, so all the endings do technically fit, then, well, your ending's the canon one no matter what then, because when the next game it still technically fits. Anyway, where were we? We finished with this. I keep an eye out. I don't have the time. I'll keep an eye out. I'll have some here.
I've already found some Moonsilver artifacts. Here you go.
Ah, wonderful.
Ooh, 26.
Thank you so much, Surfacer.
Okay, 100 each.
Compensation, as agreed.
That's a lot better.
And in addition, I'd like you to have this.
Nice golem core.
The society is
Fire.
most grateful for your patronage.
Fresh start.
Let me know if you find anything else on your travels.
Thank you. Okay, that's helped. Now I have money to pay you.
Yeah?
Okay, who else do we need to talk to? Is anything else you before we go?
Welcome back. Did you find any Moonsilver artifacts?
Haven't left, so no.
I'll be going.
Me help give you luck on your search.
Can we activate this? And then we got boom boom, and then I think that's part of the main quest. Are we on time? What? That's 40 minutes. I do go in tangents a little bit here and then, but I think that's stuff that I personally feel would make the games better. So hopefully, if you watch my channel, you enjoy some of my opinions on this stuff, or my thoughts on them. Hello.
Well, you lot look a bit too old to join us. Besides,
Too old?
you're all filthy gravel eaters.
Wow.
Join you? What are you talking about?
The young lads of Arrakis, of course. Our revolution's youth organization.
Fun here too.
Get them while they're young, eh?
I wouldn't say that at all. It's just a question of honest education, giving them the whole truth about our heritage. We are really proud of our activities and programs. I'd be happy to tell you about us. We have nothing to hide.
There's a difference between the truth and changing the truth. Because like if there's anything that speech guy did, he's making stuff up. That what was it in this world? Humans are keeping you down and they're making you slaves. Basically, the gist of it. Well, that's not true. Then again, in this world, there could be the odd group doing that, but the main empire isn't. But then again, it could be you lot attacking us and do the similar thing. So we are really proud. How do you plan to educate them? How much interest is there?
So tell me, how exactly do you plan to educate the youth?
It's all about pride. Helping them realize that they don't have to cower and apologize for what they are.
Yeah, you should
How are
judge
you
it
gonna
anyway.
help them with that?
Yeah.
First of all, we
We do
want
it
to get
anyway.
them out there. Meet other sons of Granite and see how it feels to be their true self. Unshackled from societal conventions and fear.
Yeah, they should.
And
That should be
also,
fine. Well,
we
how are you
need to
doing
give
it?
them access to the right sources. Scholars and intellectuals are good at pretending they are objective while protecting the old doctrine.
What would you replace it with?
The immortal knowledge of Arrakis, of course. In the current climate, only his words can be trusted. Shielding the next generation from all the deceit out there and sharing the wisdom of our leader is
You're not-
more than enough.
Okay, he's not really giving the information we're asking for. What he's saying in general is good. They should be unshackled. They basically should be themselves. That's all great. But then he's kind of skipping around it. He's not saying how he's going to do that, because it's like a thing, isn't it? It's one thing to say be yourself. That's great. But if be yourself means you're reading some text that's telling you to go around eating little babies and setting fire to old people, that's kind of indoctrinating you to be, well, it's not a terrorist, is it? What would that be classed as? A bloody animal? Well, then that's wrong. At the same time, wrong word, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, a dog's an animal, and humans, we're mammals, we're still dogs. We're still dogs, duh. We're still animals, technically. You know, we're supposed to be civilized animals. I don't know what word would you use. Basic, a monster, barbaric. So that's the thing. Should you go out there and speak your mind? Should you go out there and be yourself? Yes. Should you go out there and start eating babies and killing cats and dogs? No. So again, how are you teaching them to be themselves? Because I feel it's like, be yourself, but read what this tells you to do. That's the gist I'm getting from this. You know, you should always be yourself, but at the same time, make sure you follow what's in this book here. And what's in that book. See what I'm getting at? How much interest is there?
I was wondering.
He's not giving us
You
the
got a lot of
information.
signups?
Oh yes, our meetings didn't used to be popular at all. But now we're breaking attendance records every single time. I guess our youth just needed a bit more time to realize that it's okay to have pride in what they are.
Huh.
Yeah, they should have pride what they are, but again, are you... What's the correct term? Not mislead. Yeah, I guess it could be misleading and bending that pride into something that you want them to do. So in other words, it's your dictatorship that's causing them, so they think they're being who they are. They think they have the pride that you've given them, when really you're bending them into such a, or taking a route that's wrong. But time, okay? Something I need to take care of.
Another time, okay? There's something I need to
He
take
didn't
care
really give
of.
me the information if that's what he's doing or not.
Ah, Stevie, bloody kiwi. What are you looking at?
Sorry, I couldn't help but notice how upset you are.
Yeah, very.
Do you mind if I asked you what's wrong?
What's wrong? Bloody thievery is what it is. Them beardless dregs have no right to my stuff. Do you know how long it's been in my family?
No, we're
A
talking about...
long time.
Whoa, slow down. Who stole from you and what did they steal?
Yeah, balls.
The
My
balls?
hammer. Ever since that beardless gasbag took over Windham, his stone lickers have been rounding up all the Moonsilver for that damn statue, including my family hammer. How's a smith supposed to work without his hammer?
I just gave some away. But he wants stuff. Can I, by any chance? I feel the sounds was quite good on this, but I do feel the music's quite high. Can I I always prefer the voice being higher. Can I just give it a little sound? Master's fine. So I'm averaging on this right now, pushing to 150 when I come to my editing program, and I think it sounds okay, but I wouldn't mind the voice being a little more louder, the music down a little bit. I just feel keep the voices clearer for you. Yeah, because I think the sound's on average good, and this should directly lower everything else, but keep the voices high for you. Voice notifications is pretty fine. Outside of dialogue, yeah. Yeah, sure. There's not too much, is it, for everything? Okay. I guess it just does it by doing that. Yeah, okay. Sometimes the voice is a little better for you. Keep an eye on your hammer. How did they take your hammer?
How was your hammer stolen?
Did I get
Are you even listening? Them granite babies showed up and demanded I hand over any Moonsilver for the glory of the Dwarven Empire. Bloody thieves.
They can do that? Just seize whatever they want?
You wouldn't believe how many
Don't have it yet, do I?
there are. They hand over the stuff like they're proud to help the beardless Greg.
We're gonna
And
make
then
it
when they
wrong
get
at some
dwarves
point.
like me, the damn stone lickers hold you down while they ransack your home. Ah, I should have set
me.
fire to their beards.
I feel these golem parts are going to be like the titans of the dwarfs or something. Also make the titans, maybe. Can't you use another hammer?
I understand the sentimental value
It's
of
not
your
the
arrow,
same.
but can't you use a different hammer?
Material, isn't it?
Oh, sure, I can use a different hammer. Why don't I give away my stuff for free too while I'm at it? That'd be all shite anyway.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So
It was
my
only a
character comes across as an
suggestion.
idiot
I will
sometimes.
take your suggestion and shove it to the sky.
Yep. I literally already said it, didn't I? Basically, it's probably what it's made out of, and my character comes across as an idiot by saying that. Keep an eye out for your hammer.
Sorry to hear that. I'll let you know if I find a Moonsilver hammer.
Dad, waste your time. It's long gone by now. Probably meant it down for that damn statue. If those stone lickers ever come back, I'm setting their beards on fire.
Okay, one more guy I think to talk to, and then the quest. Unless that adds any more, because I feel his got added. Unless it's because we got close enough.
I am on it.
Here we come.
Me have plenty.
Can I help you?
Aye, that you can. My name's Herrick Grainblast. You look like a surfer, sir, who gets around.
Brain blast. I actually have a letter for you.
Good stand. Oh,
Messenger
nice.
died on the way here.
You do? Well, then it must be from my boy. Let me see.
Did I read that? Is he dead?
This is odd. It doesn't mention Hallabrook at all.
Calibrock. What's so important about it?
Well, you see, my son, Idar, and his friend set out for the city nearly 2 moons ago. He was supposed to write me once he got there, but the letter never came. This letter you found doesn't say anything about reaching Calibrook. So either this was written afterwards, or they never even made it. Dust and stones, I told him it was too dangerous.
See, the daughter was gone a bit.
Would you mind asking
The soul's
around
gone.
for it if you find yourself there?
So I can't. Why was your son? I guess it wasn't me though. Why should I go to Calibrock? Calibrock?
What was he hoping to find
Brock?
there?
Ah, he was always fascinated with the idea of other far-off lands. Calibrock was supposed to be the first of many stops on his so-called tour of Fiera. You know, it was actually his friend's idea to travel together. I doubt my boy would have gotten the notion to leave Windhome on his own.
Wow. Rock on it. I'll look for him.
I'll see what I can do.
If you can find anything out,
Ooh.
that would set my mind at ease.
A lot more stuff I can grab. That's him, isn't it? There's not someone sitting here I need to do right now. Oh, supplies, okay.
Of course.
I guess we're at 24, so we probably stop here and go in next time. Just probably gonna load up a big conversation more than likely, so I'll save here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Like, subscribe, good stuff, and have a great one today. See you next time as we end it here. Bye bye.